I'd like to start by thanking President Nana of Ghana for sending us his Minister of Education to open our session. It's been a wonderful 3 days. I also want to thank Commissioner for HRST from the African Union for blessing us with their presence again on the opening session. I also want to thank our Secretary General for AAU. Of course, Maxwell and Catherine, you are just tirelessly working to keep the new North America office running. And of course, for putting together this amazing program. I want to thank all the moderators, the speakers for really having stuck in for this past 3 days. We truly appreciate you. We are now getting to where we give an opportunity for all our speakers and moderators to give us their farewell message to the wonderful people who have been listening to the great messages that we have received well, but also as we begin to wrap it up and hopefully we'll come up with a way forward, which AAU is definitely going to guide us through that. Without further ado, I would like to start with calling Dr. Margaret King. She's from the Global Institute for Planning and Sustainable Development. Dr. Margaret King, you have the floor, please.
And all the great people on this conference. It's been a wonderful 3 days. We've learned a lot and has actually been able to collaborate with a lot. Our session was impactful. People wanted to go on and on and on, but we decided to create a WhatsApp group and already have a meeting scheduled for Friday for us to recap and actually identify action plans on how to collaborate with AAU and AU. We just want to thank all of you great people for putting this together. It's been amazing. We are all inspired and we want to see the change happening. The Global Institute of Planning and Sustainable Development is ready to work with you. We are already working in all the countries of Africa with different teams and directly with universities, creating association, Global Youth and Student Association, so that the student, what they're learning right there in the universities, they can grab those skills, transfer them into entrepreneurship, and be able to manufacture something that would be sellable, and also moving into the communities. Universities are the growth poles, they are the catalysts, and we want to make sure that we can sustainably develop Africa, collaborating with global Africans from the diaspora and from the continent. Love and shout out to all of you. Farewell.
Thank you, Dr. King. Have you back. Love and shout out back to you. Thank you for the spirited farewell message. Next, we have Professor Achefu for CVS Nigeria, CVC Nigeria. Professor, you have the floor.
Good evening, Africa, Diaspora. It's been a wonderful homecoming for us all. From the Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian Universities, on behalf of the 171, look forward to serious collaboration going forward after this event. And I'd like to thank Professor Ahile, Maxwell, and the rest of his team, and our wonderful resource persons for the fantastic job they've done over the past 3 days. It's been a pleasure. All the side meetings, and we learned a lot and exchanged a lot of ideas. So thank you, and looking forward to another homecoming very soon. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Professor, and please give our love to all the Nigerians back home. Like you, we look forward to working with you, collaborations as we chart our way forward in building the Africa that we want. Thank you again. Next, we have Professor Bawole Dean of the University of Ghana Business School. Professor Bawole, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and thank you to all of you across the continent of Africa and the world. My name is Justice Bawole, Dean of the University of Ghana Business School. Those of us in the University of Ghana Business School, and we are very excited that the past 3 days have been this animated. And let me proudly say that the daughters of Africa have made this conference very, very enlightening. And I really want to salute all our sisters across the world who have been part of this conference and who have held the fort. All of your facial expressions across have been so refreshing. And also refreshing that when it is homecoming, it is been led by the women of Africa. And I want to, on behalf of the universities in Ghana and on the behalf of my own business school and my university, say that, well, if it were possible, let us all remain here. But it is not possible. So we wish you a very, very good farewell. But remember that you are always welcome. The collaborations will continue, and we salute all of you for your spirited participation in this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bawole. I tell you, I love you already. You believe in us women, you believe in us taking charge, and while we love you guys, and we always want to make sure that you got our back, but we want you to know that it is now our time. So move over. Let's take the front row. Thank you, Professor. We appreciate you. We look forward to continued work with Ghana, of course, the home of Kwame Nkrumah. Thank you again. Next, we have Professor Teresa Akanji. She is with AAU, board member for Central Africa. Professor Akenji, you have the floor, please. Professor Akenji, are you there?
Please, she's not online currently.
Okay, we move on to the next one. Next, we have Dr. Jose Malete Jackson, Alliance for African Partnerships. Dr. Jose, you have the floor, please.
And greetings, and thank you very much, Ambassador. This is Jose Jackson Malete from the Alliance for African Partnership at Michigan State University. It's great to see you again, even though it's on a screen. Maybe about a year ago, you were probably, well, not a year, maybe a little bit over a year, you were on our campus, and we had fantastic discussions. So it is great to see all of you. On behalf of our advisory board and the management of the AP, I wish to provide these brief farewell remarks. I think we've had a fantastic 3 days of discussions and coming together. And I think the whole idea of this homecoming clearly has made its objectives. The Association of African Universities, in partnership with the African Union and the government of Ghana, we thank you guys for organizing and convening this event in this virtual space. So despite the global challenge of COVID-19, we are here and we are, and one of them is to reimagine everything. And this is about reimagining our aspirations, how we want to engage with each other, the way we want to work with each other, and making use of the technologies that we have available to do it. So Zoom today is the new normal, right? One of the things that I forgot to mention in my presentation and in the panel discussion on Monday, you know, I looked at several of the areas where we can work together. And COVID-19 has shown us that the fourth industrial revolution is one of the areas. I forgot to mention that. And given the way we are now, this is another one that is front and center. We can't ignore it. Africa is one of the areas of partnerships that we can work on. Many universities are engaged in this area in Africa, in the Caribbean, in Latin America, certainly in the US, and we need to get in the game. I want to reemphasize again the need for partnerships with the global African diaspora. So we want to make sure that African Americans are there, Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Latin Americans, as well as people who were born in Africa who are in the diaspora somewhere dispersed. We all have so much in common. We have so many lessons that we can learn from each other. And we all have a common goal for transforming the lives of Black people around the world, wherever we are. And so there's so much at stake. I think after we heard last night the debate, there is so much at stake. So what can we do together? We need to think big. We need to have more of these discussions, as we've said earlier. Many of the other speakers have said this. I am looking forward to this. The Alliance for African Partnership is ready to work with others. We are a consortium, as you know, of 10 African universities and Michigan State University. We are open to working with any university, and we look forward to these discussions. We look forward to continuing with you. Thank you all, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. It is good to see you again. I will have to come back. Please don't forget to invite me. Yes, we had a wonderful time when you guys invited me to University of Michigan, and I'm so looking forward to it. I listened to all your stories in Botswana and all your experiences. I still remember every one of them. Thank you, my sister. It is so good to see you. Next, we have Dr. Violet Makuku. She is the Secretariat of the AAU. Dr. Violet, you have the floor, my sister.
Thank you very much. This has been exciting. I don't even know where to start from, but AAU has really shown that it's a mother and a higher education body, apex body for higher education in Africa, by just bringing everybody, including the diaspora, together. So I can't mention by name, but everybody who has made this a success and taken part in this 3-day event, I say congratulations, and it could not have been an event. Then I think the key words, let's take them: collaboration, complementarity, teamwork, as opposed to competition and conflict. Those things will not get us anywhere. And so I just want to say, those who joined us is because they are connected to the Association of African Universities. And so I just want to encourage those who are here, who are not members of the Association of African Universities, to visit our website, www.aau.org, and just apply online as an institution, not as individuals. Those who have already been members, please continue to be active. Visit our website, visit our blog, and be in touch with us. I hope as AAU, we are going to own up to what the other regional offices, and especially our North American office, which has been in contact with all these other people who made this event a success. I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you so very much. Next, we have David Ampa Benin. He is COP. I'm not sure what COP stands for. Mr. David Ampa.
Thank you very much. COP is Commissioner of Police, retired. I'm Commissioner of Police, Ghana, Accra.
Commissioner of Police, okay, now I know.
Yeah.
Okay, for Benin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
No, from Ghana,
welcome.
Accra.
You have the floor.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Our noble professors, panelists, resource persons, I must admit that this has been a wonderful show. Moderating has been very excellent. And for the past 3 days, we have been listening to our professors, the researches they have made, and I must tell you that personally, I have enjoyed and benefited a lot. I had the opportunity to share policy in Ghana, and also the mode of arrest, and I brought about some of the differences that happen in America, UK, and Ghana. But in Ghana, our policing is divided into 3. Policing in the area of motor traffic, motor traffic and transport unit. The department is a department. Then the Department of the Criminal Investigations, and then finally the patrol unit. So, but the emphasis here is about the motor traffic and transport unit. A lot of accidents in Africa, especially in Accra, Ghana, is on the higher side. I remember one professor came from the US to head our UDS University, and just as he was crossing the road, he was knocked down and he was killed. He was killed. He was shattered into pieces, broken. A professor, emeritus, he just died like that. So our attention now in Africa must be how to combat this traffic accidents that occur on our road. So I believe that in our next episode, the people from living as true citizens. Our noble professors, thank you. I believe that next year or the other time that it will fix, I'll have the opportunity also to be a panelist, a part of this program. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Commissioner, for the kind words. Please allow me the opportunity to call you my husband. I am a proud Ghanaian wife. In my culture, when you marry a man, you marry all the men in his village. So I married a Ghanaian man. I claim all Ghanaian men as my husband. So it's so good to hear you, Commissioner. And I know you're taking very good care of us in Ghana. And I hope to see you one of these days when I visit the continent. Thank you for participating in this wonderful program. Next, we have my own friend from Zimbabwe, Professor Zobgo, a man that I know well, a true Pan-Africanist, a true educator. I knew Dr. Zobgo even when I was a little girl. Dr. Zobgo, it's so good to see you. Please welcome. You have the floor.
Doc, unfortunately, Prof is not online.
Okay. Professor Zobgo,
yeah, so I'm sure he will come back shortly.
Wonderful. Yet another friend who is really very involved in Pan-African affairs, and he is working towards reparations. This individual is none other than Dr. Gary Bledsoe from Texas Southern University. Dr. Gary Bledsoe, you have the floor, my brother.
Okay. Ambassador, thank you so much, and thank you for your vision. I think because of your vision, many things are happening around the world, and I hope everyone knows her vision of really trying to bring the diasporans together and what she's doing with ADDI, because I think that indeed is something that will ultimately empower us worldwide and allow us to give things to the world that the world needs. I think it's really out of the diasporan community that the world is crying for leadership because of the things that we've suffered and endured around the world. I think we have a particular latitude to do things and to move forward and to try to show the rest of the world the types of things that need to be done. It's been a wonderful assemblage of some of the greatest minds in the world. And again, I guess I'm concerned that many of the works I don't know about, I'm not familiar with, so we need to have some kind of a central place where there's a compendium of information. And we need to be able to try to work out mechanisms and methods to try to share this information throughout the diaspora, because it will empower us locally in all places around the world to make things happen. If we find out the things that, for example, some of the research and reparations that's taken place, that will be extremely important. I know out of our session, we had some great recommendations. We had recommendations, for example, for trying to make sure that mission statements of colleges and universities around the world actually include social dynamics, so that we can say that if we want to get involved in social action, that should be involved, that should be part of your process. If we want to deal with racism, anti-racism, that should be part of a mission statement. It also came out that what many people are doing great work around the world, but it would be a good idea to know some of the courses that are being taught, so that we can try to get those into being required part of the curricula in the universities that many of us are associated with. And I know, Doctor, I know one of the things, Ambassador, I know that you've thought about and talked about, and that is the idea of trying to put together an enlightening curriculum, because so many of the great speakers here today have talked about, well, I didn't know this about that area of the world, or that area of the world. And so on things that will enlighten people, Like I've been reading your book, Ambassador, and it's enlightened me about things that I never knew and never found out. So I think that we come together, we can understand what's happened in the Caribbean, what's happened in Africa, not just in the U.S., for example, and vice versa. So I think that those kinds of initiatives would be with publicity, because, you know, it's a new day, it's a different day, and we have beautiful ideas, but the implementation, as Dr. Rodriguez said earlier, the implementation will be the issue. And so how do we get that accomplished in this new world dynamic? We have to seize the opportunity for change that's been invited to us and brought to us. And I think having an affirmative collaborative through the AAU would be so important and allow to give a real life to this. But I think that we need to have inertia and make sure this is something that we revisit on a continual basis, so that we don't lose the time and the opportunity, because I don't know where we'll be a year from now. So I think we need to seize the opportunity with the things that have been brought together in this wonderful conference to move forward, but to get to know each other and learn what each other is doing and work together, because there's so much to be done. There's no competition here. We're all trying, we've got a big issue, some big importance, and we need to come together as one group. So thank you for everybody for participating. And I want to thank the ambassador, the secretary, and all for what you've done. We're just glad to be part of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bledsoe, for all the work that you're doing in keeping us united and reminding us of who we are and the importance of unity, and knowing above all that we are Africans. I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to working with you as we work on a document for reparations, not as Caribbeans, not as South Americans, not as African Americans, but as all people of African descent, as Africans, as Black people, because what unites us is our Blackness and our Africanness. So I so look forward to working together. I know you're already working on something, and I'm just so tickled and pleased about all the work that you're doing. Thank you, my brother. Next, we have Dr. Lakisha Harrison, my sister, who brought me to her classroom and exposed me to a Frenchman who says, well, when I was growing up in Europe, they told me we French people went to Africa to civilize the Africans. So you know, Dr. Lakisha took care of that boy very quickly. Professor Lakisha Harrison, you have the floor, my sister.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you so much for convening this last session for all of us to share remarks about the last 3 days, which have been wonderful. And indeed, without you, I personally would not be here. So I am thankful to you especially. Thank you to our hosts, the country of Ghana, the African Union, and the AAU for convening this homecoming. As I said during the readout from earlier today on the panels, it has indeed felt like a homecoming indeed. Even though it is virtual, the virtual platform has allowed us to connect from across the world in ways we might not have if we had been in person. And I just want to say thank you to the panelists that I had the pleasure of moderating. They all were exceptional in their comments and obviously in their expertise. They are some of the world on issues related to Africa, African studies, and leaders of HBUs and founders of African programs. And so we are looking forward to, and I say we intentionally, because what I believe came out of the session that we had is a commitment to continue our engagement together moving forward in order to actually forge relationships to build from here. What was important to us in our session was not just to talk about the issues and how we can strengthen relationships between HBCUs and African universities and African intellectuals and academics throughout the diaspora, but what are we going to do about it from here on? We can talk about what can be done, but we have to actually put that into action. And Professor Yanka basically created a call for action and a challenge to the AAU for us to move forward and continue the dialogue we started at least every 6 months in order to begin building a central repository within the AAU to hold information, resources, and things like a list of what HBCUs are already doing with the continent of Africa, because we are doing the work. Not just Howard University, not just Delaware State University, not just Morgan State. We are doing the work, but we are not necessarily coordinating our efforts and tapping into one another. And that is the work we have to do. And that is to reweave the Anansi web of connection across the globe that genuinely unites us. Learned so much, and I think all of our participants have as well. And what I have learned the most out of this conference is that when it comes to issues related to Africa, you can never learn enough. There's always more to learn, and I'm looking forward to continuing my education through this platform. Thank you.
Thank you, children. The real history about our Africa. And like I was in your classroom, you were telling them what was wrong about the history book that you were reading. I truly appreciate that. Keep up the good work. Next, we have Professor Olusola Oyewole. He is an AAU board member. Professor Oyewole, you have the floor, please. Professor Oyewole?
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to say some things to round up this session. One of the issues is the readiness of African universities to welcome those in the diaspora. And I just want to address this particular issue. Some things that African universities should do to facilitate diaspora involvement. And it's high time that African universities have to in their operations. For example, our outlook, we need to see the diasporans as collaborators and not competitors. This is very important. We need to change our mindset by asking ourselves, what can the African and African universities do, our brothers and sisters in the diasporas, rather than asking what we can get from the diasporas. I think there's a need for a change of mindset. We should be ready to learn from each other. We should be open. Indeed, I will expect that African universities should have a board for diaspora involvement. This will facilitate our interactions with each other. Finally, I think that we got a good beginning. We should keep up this dialogue, and we should be responsive to one another in communicating with each other so that this will not end with our discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. You're in Nigeria, right? Our greetings to our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. Thank you for participating.
Thank you very much.
I know it's not always easy. We're glad we were able to get you with working Wi-Fi and you were not interrupted. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Next, we have Professor Osei Dakwa, University of Illinois. Professor Dakwa, you have the floor.
Well, thank you, Excellency. We all agree that this has been an unprecedented event in the history of the AAU. We also agree that most of the themes expressed during this conference are not very different from what our founding fathers expressed. The theme of collaboration, the theme of, at one point said, Africa must unite in order for the continent to maximize its potential. And that's taken us over 50, 60 years, to get to that. Same message was echoed by most of our founding fathers, Jomo Kenyatta, Nyerere, and all that. So what is wrong? 1969, when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, he made one solemn statement, and I quote, he said, "One small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." Today, we made that small step by bringing people of African descent together. We need to make that giant leap by forging an action plan, by moving forward so that we can implement. This is not going to be just mere talk. We need an action plan, as some of you have expressed. Africa has been marching for far too long. How long do we have to march before we can cross the unity finish line? How long do we have to march before we can build this oneness? As one of our members said during our panel discussion, in high school, we read about the great kings of Africa. We read about Mansa Musa. We read about Usman Danfodio. We read about Sundiata Keita. What happened? What happened to Africa? This is our time. This is a time for us to come together. This is a time to make Africa great again. Africa must unite. Africa must speak with one voice. And I thank you all.
Thank you, Kwame Nkrumah. Well said. How long? How long? How long? The time is now. Thank you for that wonderful message and reminding us of what coming 56 years later, and the game and the bid goes on. But we are here now. AAU and other organizations like AAU are bringing us together and reminding us that we need to follow this path, which is our path, the path we would have charted for ourselves, not somebody else's path. Thank you for all the work you're doing back in Ghana. We appreciate you. Next, we have Dr. Beatrice Njenga. You have the floor, my sister. Dr. Beatrice Njenga.
I'm here.
Okay, my sister.
Thank you so much.
You have the floor. Good to see you.
Yes, it's been a singular honor and pleasure for me to be a part of this important and stimulating engagement among people of African descent from the continent and in the diaspora. Congratulations, African Union Commission. Thank you, diaspora, for your interest in engaging meaningfully with the continent. Congratulations to the AAU for pulling this off just within 1 year since you opened a diaspora office in the USA. Truly, you are the voice of African higher education. And allow me, before I say what I'm going to say, that founding fathers, yes, there were mothers as well. Incidentally, before the Organization of African Unity, that was mostly men, there was an Organization of African Women that predated that, but perhaps their great speeches were not documented. So historians, please, let's hear what they also had to say. The presentations were excellent, and you will publish them to make a name. But when the dust has settled, what shall be the impact? What therefore are we going to do differently to change the scenarios of exclusion and marginalization, the scenarios of awkwardness and ad hoc and splintered nature of much engagement between diaspora and the continent? Please commit to making an effort with the leadership or moderation and coordination of the AAU and with AUC and greats like Dr. Chihombori towards more systematic engagement with the continent based on our homegrown AU agenda and priorities that demand full inclusion of women, men, youth, and caring for children. These are Agenda 2063, Continental Education Strategy for Africa, the Science and Technology Strategy, Continental Free Trade Area, among others. All the matters that have been discussed here are referred to in these instruments. Therefore, they provide the framework which we must all embrace, be counted as to contributing to development of leaders of integrity in all fields at all levels, to transform our societies from a platform of self-knowledge and self-know leadership university, where I'm Deputy Vice Chancellor. That is what we aspire to do. Let us bring to bear our individual and collective resources, intellectual, institutional, financial, and all others, to build the global Africa we want and the world that we desire. Thank you so much, and I hope to continue engaging with all of you. God bless you.
God bless you too, my sister. Bravo, and thank you for all the good work. Do not tire. I want you to know we are there with you. This is our fight. This is our struggle. A luta continua. Thank you for your remarks. Next, we have Professor Neka Osaku from Albany State University. You know, when I first heard Albany State University, I thought she was coming from upstate New York, until she said, well, no, Albany, Georgia. Well, Americans, were they running out of names or something? But be it as it may, she has invited me to Albany, Georgia. Beautiful university. They are doing some amazing work in Georgia. Lots of diaspora professors and business people, very Pan-African. And Professor Osaku is actually keeping them organized and mobilized and keeping them focused. Professor Osaku, you have the floor, my sister.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. You are an exceptional leader. We haven't had anyone like you in a long time. And thank you so much for bringing us all together, all academic African scholars, both in diaspora and the continent. We thank you so much, and we want you to continue to lead. I must start, first of all, by also referencing this great organization, this Association of African University. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
It appears she has lost internet connection.
Yes. We will try and bring her back. In the meantime, we will move on.
This is the first of its kind, even when we had the privilege to be part of this conference. And thank you so much for all the esteemed professors who did wonderful presentations. I hope we will be able to have a depository, like everyone said, and go with it. Action plan is what matters. Thank you for all the rapporteurs being able to put everything together. I can't even begin to mention all the names. You all did an awesome job of writing and reporting effectively. Professor Harrison, you are awesome moderator. I was in that session yesterday, and I can't even start to mention all the names, but it's overwhelming, and I am extremely honored to be part of this group. I am hoping that we take away one thing that's been said, the issue of continuing collaboration. What are the infrastructure we need in the continent to have this on? We mentioned some of them yesterday. Having connectivity, internet connectivity. Without it, we have millions of kids who have not been in school for months, going to a year. We mentioned that in one of the panels yesterday, and we must remember that we are leaving millions of children behind, and we're now reconnecting with them without the government having this infrastructure that we need. A lot is going to be lost. We must remember that the youth that we have is our future, and without them, all that we are doing now, we are still going to come back and regret. So those are some of the key points we have to take on, action points for next meeting. We must continue the conversation. We appreciate everyone and all that we are doing. Please let us not relent in reconnecting. We have to have that framework of reconnection, not just saying it, but having a committee that will forge on with action plans about how we do. But thank you, everyone, and as we leave, let us continue the connectivity. That's the key point. And farewell to everyone until we join again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my sister, for the wonderful message. Keep up the good work down there, down south in Alabama. Stay safe, and I look forward to coming to visit you very soon. Thank you again. Keep up the good work. Next, we have Honorable Kojo Yanka. African Heritage World and Museum. Also the author of From Jamestown to Jamestown, published last year. For those of you who don't have a copy, please go to Amazon, get a copy. It's very interesting read. Honorable Kojo Yanka, you have the floor, please.
Your Excellency, Prof. Yanka is not online at the moment. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. We'll move forward. Next, we have Musi Kasire. Please, Musi, she is going to be giving a farewell message on behalf of the... Musi, are you ready? We'll move forward. Next, we have Professor Amani El Sharif, North Africa Office of AAU.
Thanks, Professor. Thanks, my dear Excellence. Thanks for you, my gorgeous role model for women leadership and for all of Africa. Actually, it was a dream for us to connect the academics of different African regions together in
She's muted.
Of Amani?
Sorry. Okay, thanks AAU for this outstanding event and to collecting and gathering all the sons and daughters of African mother together and consolidate the bonds of our academics. Africans actually, like I said, it was a dream. I represented NARU. NARU is the North African Regional Office, which is an integral part of AAU. And through NARU, we dream to have integration between North African academics and the rest of Africa. But thanks for NAMU, now we are connected and integrated with all African all over the globe.
Hello.
And this will definitely accelerate.
Oh, thank you. Were you there?
Yeah, and this definitely will accelerate. Excuse me?
Please mute yourself when the speaker is speaking. Your voice is coming over the speaker's voice.
Okay, it's okay, no problem. And this will accelerate our dreams, and I hope the recommendations of this extraordinary event to be included in African Union strategic plan and accelerate reaching the Africa we want. And to all African diaspora, welcome home. And to all AAU team and NAMU team and all the parties and the partners, thanks for this warm hug for our extended family of Africa. Proudly, AAU. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. You know, with Professor Amani, you have to be careful what you ask for. When she was going to be coming to open the AAU office North America last year, I just asked for a few goodies from Egypt. Oh my God, she brought a plane load of goodies for me. I could not believe it. I said, how did you bring all these goodies? She said, I'm a woman, I'm an African woman, I know how to handle this. I said, okay, so I can't thank you enough for all the tireless work that you have done to see to it that not only the North Africa office was a success for AAU, but also that the North America office was an equal success. We truly, truly appreciate you. It takes a woman, like I said, it's our time to lead. When you put a woman in front, you know things are gonna work well. I know Maxwell pretty much has you so far in front of him because she knows when you are ahead of him, everything is gonna work out. So he just has to walk behind with everything already set out for him. We truly, truly appreciate you. We appreciate all the hard work and all the work that you're doing to promote education, not only in North Africa, but in all of the continent. We truly, truly appreciate you. And thank you for your message. Professor Teresa Akanji is back in the house. She is an AAU board member from Central Africa. Professor Akenji, you have the floor, my sister. Please unmute Professor Akenji.
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Glad we found you. Welcome. You have the floor.
Thank you so much. With the internet hurdles here, I'm sure you cannot see me, but I will go ahead. Your Excellency, you exude so much energy. I met you in Egypt, and your passion just gets to my soul. And I thank you so much for your leadership. My name is Teresa Akanji. I'm the Vice Chancellor of the University of Bamenda in Cameroon. Our university is 9 years old, and I'm a member of the governing board of AAU, and I've been asked to bid farewell on behalf of the AAU. What can I say? It has been a fantastic conference. I'm sure when AAU embarked on this, we never imagined that it was going to be a conference of this dimension. The exchanges, the presenters, the participants have all been wonderful. And I would say that the value of the diaspora in empowering education in Africa cannot be underestimated. So I just want to call on you, our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Our collective efforts can move Africa forward. And we will get to the stage where we'll no longer talk about brain drain, but brain gain. So on behalf of AAU, I wish all of you well, and I will only say next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Keep up Central Africa region in check. We're counting on you to keep that belly of Africa continuing to beam and support us. We will be joining you, we hope, very, very soon to visit your beloved country of Cameroon, a country that's so full of history that some of it was just blocked by those French colonizers and did not want to tell us the truth. But guess what? We're going to come home and find out and hear all about it. Thank you, my sister, for keeping up.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are more than welcome. And we look forward to seeing you again really soon. Thank you for your remarks, and we will stay in touch. Next, we have Ms. Sylvia Robertson, ADDI. Ms. Sylvia, you have the floor.
Your Excellency, thank you very much. Indeed, you're an exemplary leader. Everything you do just puts smiles on everybody's face, including mine. You have been my mentor for a very long time, and I want to say thank you first to you, and also to the organizers of the AAU. All these extinguished brains that I have met on this line is phenomenal. This is history in the making. One of these days, our children and grandchildren are going to be reading about us, and by then I'm sure we'll be gone. But this is a very good concept, an excellent concept that has been put together. Yes, it's the new way of life. This is the new way of meeting, but I think it's better than even the personal meeting that we used to do before. That being said and done, on behalf of ADDI, which is the African Diaspora Development Institute, of course, you all know, headed by our Excellency Dr. Arikana Chihombori-Quao, who is the founder and president of this organization. We invite each and every one of you to join our ADDI because the call of the cry that I've been listening to or hearing throughout these sessions, because I emceed the first session, is collaboration and how do we all get to be in one repository so that when we want to contact each other, we just push one button and everybody knows where everybody can be found. To our delight, or rather, let's share the good news that we have from ADDI. On the ADDI platform, which is www.our.addi.org, you can go and register yourselves because we have education as well as one of our major subcommittees. Her Excellency is very much about education, and so have all of us now who are on ADDI. We're pushing so that what AAU has started now, ADDI is right behind you. We are going to do what we can, everything that is possible to make sure that those of you who register on our repository, like Autherine mentioned earlier on, we are working on a central line where everybody can come in and register and be able to collaborate and talk to one another. Besides the AAU, feel free to go to the ADDI. And on behalf of ADDI, we say thank you very much. The French say merci beaucoup. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys again and hopefully continue to collaborate. May God bless us all.
Thank you, my sister. So Dr. Maxwell, she's one of the women who's going to be running around, going to universities and telling them all about AAU and why they must sign up and have an MOU with AAU. This is Sylvia. She is going to be one of those foot soldiers to promote AAU in the United States. Sister Sylvia, thank you for being my senior advisor, for keeping me straight, for making sure that I stay in the line and I don't get sidetracked like I always do. Without you and the rest of the team in the office, I don't know how I could manage. I thank you for all your help. I appreciate you. And we got a lot of friends like you. Mission will be accomplished. I thank you.
Thank you, Excellency.
Next we have Professor Hassana Kafi, Plasma University, Somalia. Professor Kafi, you have the floor. Professor Kafi?
Excellency, he's not online now, but I think Musikari is back online. Thank you.
Wonderful. So we'll call on Musikari, who's going to give a farewell message on behalf of the African diaspora in North America. Musi, my sister, you have the floor. My daughter, rather, you have the floor.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Madam Ambassador, Honorable Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. My name is Musi Kiari, and I am the president of Coaches of Influence, an organization that focuses on developing the core principles of human value through positive influence and converting youth and women into transformational leaders and positive influence of all generations. It was an honor to be emceeing both parallel sessions to strengthening relationships between U.S. historically Black colleges and universities and African universities. And it was a powerful discussion with great moderation from Dr. Lakisha Harrison and dialogue with thought leaders like Professor Asante and Professor Vergara. On behalf of African Diaspora, I thank you all for joining us during this 3-day conference as we strive to strengthen collaboration and partnership during this first virtual African Academic Diaspora Homecoming. For the African Diaspora, we thank you. We thank you all for your partnership, your support, and for this movement that has already started. And we need to carry this forth. Diasporans have skills, they have knowledge, expertise, passion, calling on all diasporans of African descent to find a community to connect, an organization like AAU and ADDI, as we bring so much value with us into these various entities. We should stop seeking opportunities and start creating them. We are solution thinkers and solution architects. We need to continue as diasporans to employ and encourage interaction and bring exchange of ideas, experience, content, resources in order for us to learn and grow and continue collaboration up to the finish line. I leave you with this. Collaboration is key. Just as Professor Olusola Oyewole stated, we have to engage and lock arms together. Transfer of knowledge is pivotal to this effort, and we have the right minds to lead us and push us forth, and as we stand up to hand the baton to the next generation. So let's seize this opportunity, pandemic or not, carpe diem. So thank you, Your Excellency, Madam Arikana Chihombori-Quao. We stand on your shoulders and on many others who have broken forth and taken this step and made this first virtual academic diaspora homecoming a huge success. Asante sana, Sankofa. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear daughter. You see, with daughters like her, and there are millions of them in North America, by the way, and South America and the Caribbean, there is no way we can go wrong. There is no way we can go wrong. These are the brains that are ready to tackle Africa. These are the women who are saying, enough is enough. Africa is ours, and we are coming home to take what belongs, not only to them as our children, but to their children too, and generations to come. Musi, my dear daughter, I thank you for all the work that you do. I thank you for everything that you represent, and thank you for the beautiful message on behalf of your brothers and sisters in North America. Keep up the good work. Next, we have a sister of mine who is the honorary counselor for Ghana in Colombia, South America. She's going to give us a farewell speech on behalf of the African diaspora in South America. Dr. Noma Jackson. Dr. Noma Jackson, you have the floor, please. Dr. Noma Jackson. She should be available. She just mentioned. Yes, Dr. Noma Jackson, you have the floor, my sister.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for inviting me, and thank you to the AAU for this wonderful, inspiring, productive, everything you can think of conference. I am so happy to have been part of it, and thank you so much for inviting me to be part of the board of the AAU. On behalf of our brothers and sisters of the South American diaspora, I would like to thank you again immensely for this productive conference. And thank you for remembering me to be on this board. We had the privilege of having had Dr. Chihombori-Quao in our country about 2 years ago, where she brought to tears everywhere she went with her message of unity and improvement and empowerment of Africa and its diaspora through the ADDI. The Colombian people and the Latin Americans, South Americans, Brazilians, we're waiting for you to come back to our countries, to continue with your powerful message and to inspire us to continue with these partnerships. Today, I wanted to say that we need to exercise caution when we do partnerships with universities in the diaspora in the United States. Today, we have more Black doctors, lawyers, politicians, etc. Yet, as the Black Matter movement exemplifies, Black people continue to be second-class citizens everywhere. So our issues in Latin America are the same issues as there are here in the United States and the Caribbean. Blacks continue to be miseducated, and I believe that the education should be indigenous to the people themselves. I invite all of you to connect with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora and South American diaspora. And as I said in one of my chat messages on Monday, Dr. Aurora Vergara, whom I know very well, and who was part of the panel, is in Colombia, and we're eager to open an office of the AAU in Colombia. In Colombia, we have an area called Choco, it spells C-H-O-C-O. And my first trip to Ghana, I discovered Choco in Ghana. The connection is direct. That area is a fisherman's village, just as in Ghana. And the 97% of the population is Black. The population of the Pacific region in Colombia is Black. We don't have HBCUs per se, but we do have that whole region that is populated by Blacks. So we really need these connections. We need to contact. We have exchanges with universities. When I was International Programs Director at Benedict, created all these partnerships with universities in Africa. My main point was Africa. My students always criticize me, well, you only want exchanges with Africa. What about Europe? I said, we need to know ourselves and COFA first before we go know everybody else. So I invite you all to think about connecting directly. It's not just for this conference, but the things that have been discussed that we really put into practice. And I'm here to help. I do translations for books of authors in my country that we need to share that knowledge. And I also do translations from English into Spanish, because I think that that's a very good way to bridge the gap that exists between our scholars in the continents. So please consider my proposal, my suggestion. And I'm really looking forward to the next conference. I hope it's somewhere else in Latin America. Thank you so much. And thank you, Ambassador. Love you. Looking forward to continue working with you in the ADDI. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister, Dr. Norma Jackson. We truly, truly appreciate you, Dr. Norma Jackson, and another sister out of Chicago, Dr. Anna Vicky Castell. They invited me to come to South America, specifically Colombia. And like she said, as I went about meeting different groups and addressing them, I would end my conversation by saying, I was sent here to bring you home. I never realized what that would mean to the Black people in South America. She is not exaggerating when she says there was not a dry eye in the room. The first time it happened, I wondered if I'd said something that offended people. But they were saying, you found us. They kept saying, you found us. I have never seen desperation to the extent that I saw Black people in South America. I am describing desperation of people who truly feel lost. They are treated as the scum of the earth. Even the Native Americans discriminate against them. And they had no way of reaching to Africa. They know Africa is home, but they didn't know Africa wants them. So when I said I was sent here to bring you home, I didn't realize how profound that message would be to them. They said, you found us. We must go to South America. Catherine, Dr. Maxwell, Professor Amani, the Secretary General, you heard the call. We will open a South American office of AAU, and I can assure you, Professor Jackson is going to facilitate the process of opening an AAU office. There's already a very large university that is in Cali, Colombia. They actually also facilitated funding my trip. They will be very, very happy to open an AAU office within their compound. Dr. Norma Jackson is going to facilitate that relationship. So please, let's not drop the ball. My sister, Dr. Jackson, I can't thank you enough for all the work that you do. You are running between the United States and South America. And even within South America, you are not just staying within Colombia, you are running all over the region of South America. Your Pan-African spirit is truly commendable. And we can only do the little bit that we can to support you in making sure that we can pass the message along to all Black people in South America, so none of them can ever feel that they are lost. They must all know that Africa is home and that Africa is calling on them to come home, and that we will do everything that we can to see to it whatever path needs to be paved, we will pave it. Together, in collaboration, nothing is impossible. Aluta continua. Thank you, my sister. This brings us to the end of our program, unless if we still have anybody else that needs to speak.
Yes, please. I do have a message. You mentioned earlier Professor R.J. Zobo, who is a board member from the southern region of
He's back?
He is not back, but he has sent a message for me to read to you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
To everyone, Professor Zobo says, this has been an emotional homecoming, not just for those who were inspired by our ancestors to think of Mother Africa, but also for us on the continent who enthusiastically welcomed them. This is the beginning of a long journey for many of our people who currently live abroad. It's good to be African. Your roots are here. Your umbilical was planted in the African soil. That is why you were inspired to come home. Farewell. May the spirits of our forefathers protect you wherever you are. Farewell and goodbye, Professor R.J. Zobo, board member for Southern Region, for the Southern African region of AAU. I also understand, Her Excellency, that Professor Ehile, the Secretary General of AAU, has joined us and or rejoined us, and would like to turn it over to him for a few comments.
Absolutely. Professor, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Atrin. Good, is it morning again?
I think where I am it's afternoon. Now, if you want to have another morning, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, Excellency. I would like to add my voice to those of my predecessors and say that this conference came timely as the first activity spearheaded by AAU North American Office. We are to recognize that a proper link between African and the diaspora was missing. Now we have a concrete venue where to channel any related initiative. After this conference, let us come together to make this connection a reality. I would like to seize this opportunity to thank once again Her Excellency Dr. Arikana Chihombori-Quao, who was very, very, very instrumental in the establishment of the AAU North American office when she was still in office in Washington, D.C. Tomorrow will be the first anniversary of AAU North American office. AAU is working hard to connect with other diaspora in other continents, including Europe, Asia, Australia, South America, etc. I would like to finally thank you all for participating actively to this conference, and also for your time and your commitment towards this very maiden initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Of course, without you, none of this would be taking place. I want you to know the two outfits you brought me, when you first brought them, they were a little small, but I've lost enough weight, so now I can wear them. I look beautiful. I'm going to get pictures for you. Thank you for all you've done. More importantly, I thank you for having the idea of coming to America, bringing AAU to the diaspora. We cannot thank you enough. Your leadership is reminding us what Africa really, really needs. Africa must go to the world instead of the world waiting for the world to come to Africa. You are showing us. You are the first organization, African organization, the first AAU organization to say we are going to the world. We are not waiting for the world to come to us. We thank you for your leadership, and you have our commitment that as long as you are in North America, you have our back, you have our shoulders. We will be there for you 24/7. We thank you so very much, sir.
Her Excellency, I've just been told that someone from Guinea-Bissau would like to make a comment.
Yes, please. Our brother or sister from Guinea-Bissau. I was not given the name, but you do have the floor. Thank you.
Oh, we are just about wrapping up, so Her Excellency, you have the floor.
Well, I understand. I have not heard from Maxwell. So we cannot finish this program without hearing a farewell message from Maxwell. Brother Maxwell, are you ready to give us a farewell message?
Yes, so what I want to say is I'm very grateful. I'm quite overwhelmed by the results, the sort of participation, the emotions, how people contributed to making this conference a success. I still remember all the noble professors we contacted who were willing, even at very short notice, to come on board and share their message with us. And from some of the responses we got, we surely will make this a frequent occurrence, something which is very progressive, so that we'll chart a very clear path, so that we'll move our course forward. I'm very grateful and quite emotional at this stage. Thank you all for the support, the MCs, the rapporteurs, all the distinguished professors and resource persons we brought on board, Athorin Walker, Lucy Kiari, Dr. Jarpa and the team, Professor Cornel West, Professor Hilary Beckles, Gary Bledsoe. These are like my brothers now because we chat almost every day. And thank you so much for making this success. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brother Maxwell. You again, as well as our Secretary General, none of this could have happened, could have been possible if it were not for your tireless work. I remember when you first came to move into your new offices and home in Washington, D.C. You had just arrived, and when you came to the house, you were saying, well, I gotta go look for something to sleep in, and I need to get this delivered. I said, no, come into the kitchen. I think we can find whatever you need to carry you over for just one night. And no point in going to buy things that are already being delivered. So I gave you my place every day. I look at, I have one of those plates left. You took part of my set, my brother. I need my plate back. And then you took my cup. You took a few things. And I remember you saying, you remind me of what we did when we were coming to America years ago, how much we took care of each other. But you also said something that saddens me. You said that spirit is gone. That spirit of togetherness is gone. The spirit of saying, yes, my brother, come. What I have is yours. If I have half a loaf of bread, we share that. That spirit, which is truly an African spirit, we must try and recover it back. It is that spirit that makes us who we are. Being African is not just being born in Africa. It's a spirit that when you have that spirit, it becomes easier to do what needs to be done for our Africa. My brother, Maxwell, you do exemplify that spirit of being an African. For that, I thank you. But more importantly, I also thank you for your tireless work that you are doing to reaching out to the diaspora. I know under your leadership in the North America office, of course, with the support from our Secretary General, the North America office of AAU is going to be a resounding success. But I also want you to know that the diaspora are more than ready to support AAU. Diaspora are ready to go home and do their part in building the Africa we want. So we thank you for putting this program together. We thank you for thinking of us as African diaspora in North America. We support you. We appreciate you. Thank you for all you do. Please keep up the good work. Once again, Aluta continue. My sister, Ethrin, I will turn the floor back over to you.
Okay, so my understanding is that Courtney is now on, and Courtney, is Courtney's mic unmuted?
Yes, I believe so. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. And Your Excellency, I am channeling your energy and your passion as I prepare to deliver these farewell remarks. My name is Courtney Bennett, and I'm the Economic Attaché of the African Union Diaspora African Forum. I bring you greetings on behalf of Her Excellency Dr. Arikana Bennett, founder and head of mission of the African Union Diaspora African Forum, which is the first and only diplomatic mission in the world devoted to the recognition and reintegration of the African diaspora. We are headquartered in Accra, Ghana, and are here to ensure African diasporans live, work, visit, and invest in Africa. And all Black people, no matter where we are in the world, are supported in our community endeavors. I'm extremely grateful to all those who are involved in this homecomings organization. While they are too numerous to name individually, prominent among them are the Government of Ghana, its Office of Diaspora Affairs, the All Africa Student Union, the African Diaspora Development Institute, all speakers and panel members. Of course, I cannot fail to thank the Association of African Universities for hosting us all and for inviting the African Union Diaspora African Forum in partnership. As has already been noted, we have reached the ending of our maiden African Academic Diaspora Homecoming, and it is a privilege and an honor to be entrusted to provide some closing remarks at a gathering of such eminent people of the African diaspora. There is indeed plenty to reflect upon, and if this in any way enhances our individual and collective contributions to achieving the diaspora that we want, then this conference can truly be adjudged a success. As an alumnus of the #1 historically Black college and university, Aggie Pride, homecoming is beyond special to me. During this time of year, my fellow Aggies and I will be getting ready to start our exciting journey home to the land that birthed who we are today, to celebrate tradition and achievements, to debate history and nostalgia, hug old friends, introduce our children, eat good food, dance all night, and, just be one with one another. And during this time, I reflect on what it means to celebrate a homecoming, the year of return, beyond the return. Over 2,900 people have registered and attended this diaspora homecoming. Over 2,900 of us have had our minds assailed by a torrent of ideas, information, networking, statistics, interpretations, and visions, and it will probably be a day or two, much like after the greatest homecoming on earth, before we can recover and sift through it all. But there's no place I'd rather be. From what we have heard over the past 2.5 days, there is plenty of expertise, capable leadership, corporate, institutional, and community talent to meet our global needs. The African continent possesses all that it needs for generations to come, and the diaspora must ensure that its continual development remains strong and safeguarded. The challenge of Renaissance remains that of deliverability and not availability. One last thing I would like to say is to our young people. To the young people listening and to those who have joined over the last 3 days, I say to you, you have the power to achieve anything you want. You are in control, and it is you who will implement the tangible goals and visions set before us in support of the Africa and the diaspora that we all want. You need to speak up, let your voice be heard, study the history and the veracity of global student movements, whether it was the lunch counter sit-ins in Greensboro, North Carolina, the leadership in dismantling apartheid in South Africa, or the current globally shared frustrations of economic struggle and widespread human rights violations. The tradition of student activism lives through it all and has a fundamental impact on pushing society forward. But remember, a movement without strong leadership development invites defeat. Focus on developing both technical and vocational skills just as much as you focus on developing your mind, your body, and your strategy. Don't shy away from obstacles on your journey to defending your dreams. Be bold, be direct, and be the you that you need at all times. Your Excellency, Lady Africa, since the Diaspora Homecoming has been inaugurated as an annual event, if I remember correctly, Maxwell, I look forward to welcoming you home next year when we shall reconvene to further discuss progress, opportunity, and solution always. Thank you. Merci beaucoup, Madasi, and farewell.
Thank you so much, Courtney, for that powerful message. I promise you guys that we are going to be wrapping this up in just a few minutes, but I do have the gentleman from Guinea-Bissau has now joined us, Edmar Benicio. Tech team, have you unmuted his microphone? Edmar Benicio?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Yes, of course. Wait for 1 minute. I don't see how I can connect to the video, but
we're able to hear you. So if you want to bring us your message.
You listen to me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, but I can't activate
I also have one last speaker, Professor Nuama. You wanted to bring us a message, Professor Nuama? Tech, can you please unmute Professor Nuama's line?
Connexion connexion. Oh, this pretty connection.
Okay, so we are now able to see you, Mr. Benicio.
Yeah. So you can see me now?
We can see you.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Edmar Benicio. I representing the association for all students in Morocco. I would like just say thanks for this opportunity. So I don't know if everybody see me, but I would like just to say thanks for this opportunity. Just this, I would like to say we have the student in this conference. I'm sorry for my English, but I try. Everybody know we are the Portuguese country, but I would like to say we have so much the student of Bissau Guinea don't listen English, don't listen French, but we want to speak, but we need the opportunity. More students need the opportunity for speak, for to do the study in the more country, you know. Just this. I want just to say thanks for all. Thanks for this opportunity, for the participation in this conference. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And know that we will continue to work on increasing the interpreters that we have, and hopefully next year we will have Portuguese interpreters also.
The interpretation, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, my final, or next to final, next to our closeout speaker is Professor Nuama.
Thank you very much, and good evening or good afternoon to all the participants. I wish to express AAU's gratitude to all the participants for the good work done. And I also want to acknowledge or show appreciation to SG, Secretary General, and Maxwell, who have been able to organize this meeting. You know, it is COVID, and under normal circumstances, when you talk of homecoming, it is movement of people from one area to the other. Unfortunately, because of the COVID, this mode of meeting has been very effective, and we thank SG and Maxwell for that. We thank the participants because they have given us some quality presentations, identifying all the challenges, and then they're making far-reaching recommendations. And all along I was listening, there's something which was cutting through, and that is collaboration. In fact, and that is key. Collaboration between the diaspora and then diaspora, and then the main, the academics in the, let me say, mainland Africa. And that collaboration is important because our brothers and sisters in diaspora have some number of experiences that they could easily share with us. But going beyond collaboration between the diaspora and the continent, I think we should also think of collaboration in country, among universities, institutions in the country, and cross in Southern Africa, East Africa, and West Africa, trying also to collaborate. And I think we do that, then we can say we have a wholesale or a complete collaboration among the academics and colleagues in Africa. AAU is to take the lead. Every presenter, everyone made that this suggestion that AAU should lead. And that is why we need good leaders, need strong leaders, we need good board, strong board to spearhead the activities of all this. And I hope that this is not going to be the end of our discussion. As we are moving from here, we'll continue to brainstorm and bring some of these things to fruition. So on that note, let me say, thank all the participants for staying all along with us and finishing this meeting successfully. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Nuama. Okay, so we are about to wrap up. I want to point out that there have been some key pieces that have come out. Collaboration, One Africa, Africa Unite, the importance of intention, women's leadership, connecting Black colleges in America and actually around the globe, in the Caribbean and in South America and in Africa, connecting us together. These are all the important messages and so many more that we have heard over the last 3 days. I thank you for coming, and I am going to turn it over to the president of AAU, Professor Antonio Quilombo, to give us a closing word. Thank you. Professor Quilombo.
Thank you very much. Good evening to everybody. Here in Southern Africa is now 9 o'clock, so I hope that you are still awake somewhere. As part of the protocol, I have to deliver some final words as president of the Association of African Universities. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Her Excellency, the Commissioner for Human Resources, Science and Technology from the African Union Commission, Her Excellency, the immediate past ambassador of the African Union to the United States of America, the Honorable Minister of Education of Ghana, the Honorable Minister of State in charge of tertiary education for the Republic of Ghana, the Secretary General of the Association of African Universities, Professor Etienne Ehile, distinguished dignitaries here at Herine assemblage, our diaspora and brothers and sisters, session moderators, keynote speakers, discussants, and academics, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me the singular August gathering of global academics of the Pan-African Universities, AAU, under the theme, Advancing African and Diasporan Academic Relations. I am reliably informed that this well-attended conference had about 800 participants. What makes it more historic in its mobilization, facilitation, and excellence, ably delivered by Honorable Minister of State in charge of tertiary education. The enigmatic speeches from Her Excellencies Sarah Board of African Union and our evergreen Arikana-Quao, and the many others point to a new direction for Africa by our academics to lead the continent's agenda of building and integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in the international arena. We are already 7 years ago, or 7 years into the implementation of Agenda 26.3, and none other agencies can better catapult the attainment of this goal than the higher education sector. The 4 sessional meetings and the reports from the rapporteurs that were just presented show that we, the academics, have the wherewithal to propel Africa into the becoming a key global competitor and perhaps the global leader by the year 2063. I wish to express my gratitude to everyone who made this conference possible, particularly the planning committee for their tireless efforts and behind-the-scene coordination, the session moderators, and the various keynote speakers and discussants, the interpreters, and of course, the AAU Secretariat in Ghana, the North America office and the regional office in North America and East Africa. Let me single out for the special mention the untiring efforts of Professor Aman El Sharif, coordinator of the AAU North Africa office, located at Al-Azhar University in Egypt, for her bringing on board the Arabophone participants and for the translation and interpretation into Arabic. I also congratulate our development partners of this conference, notably the Republic of Ghana, the African Union, the African Diaspora Development Institute, the National Association for Equal Opportunity in Higher Education, the National Congress of Black Women, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the Historic Black Towns and Settlements Alliance, the Economic Community of West African States, the Southern African Regional University Association, the Association of West African Universities, the Inter-University Council for East Africa, the Ghana Advocacy Group, the All African Student Union, various alumni networks, and the many other partners who have supported this conference. The immediate next step is to share the various reports from the plenary and the various sessions which were presented earlier today to all for action. There were many other views that were expressed in writing on the platforms that we have documented. For instance, there was a request or several requests to open some AAU offices in Australia and latest now in South America. This will be tabled in the next board meeting. We have also gathered the comments from the comments section that we are a large number of diaspora academic networks contributing to Africa's development in various forms. The Association of African Universities will serve as the umbrella body for these networks to ensure a more coordinated and targeted approach. We should not slacken the momentum we have gathered from this conference towards the Africa we want. The slogan is, yes, together we will. And I repeat, yes, together we will. The AAU website and all associations' media properties, including the AAU TV, the social media platform, and the EU bulletin, all provide useful information on higher education in Africa. Let's make these platforms our focal point. As I close this 3-day virtual conference, I look forward for the next conference that will report on concreted and concerted actions that place higher education aptly as the pivot of Africa's development. Thank you and stay safe. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Shukran. Asante sana. Muito obrigado.
Thank you, everyone, for attending, and that's it. We're done. Welcome home, and go home safely, and we look forward to seeing you again next year.